Your makeup popping today.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, we just lucked up. It's like this, Caribbean theme. So I did something fun with my eyes. But I was like, oh, I'm gonna sleep in this because I gotta meet with the hooks tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
My whole life has changed ever since you came in. I knew way back then that you was heaven sent, angel here on earth. I love your mama for your birth.
What's up, TV crew?
It's your man Braxton.
And your lady Tia.
And this is our Spotlight series that we are bringing back once again. If you don't remember, this is where we like to shine a light on people that we feel are impacting the culture and people that are movers and shakers within our community.
Yes. Today, our special guest is the principal designer and owner of the SharpStandard, a wedding and event planning design firm based in Atlanta, Georgia. Armed with a background in public relations, an inherent knowledge for hosting, an extensive history of branding corporate events, and a genuine ability to help her clients take their occasions to the next level, she has become one of the South's most sought-after event planners. As a graduate of Auburn University, she began working in the field of public relations and health reporting, and for 10 years, she sharpened her communication skills. During her time at Fox 6, she was also the special events booking producer, and she built relationships that would soon become the foundation of her client base for the SharpStandard. In 2017, Brittany felt confident that she would pursue event planning full-time and left the corporate world to delve deep into the world of celebration. In just 3 years, she has managed and curate hundreds of weddings, baby showers, birthday parties, bridal showers, and milestone celebrations. The SharpStandard has become a Southern favorite and can be seen in publications such as People Magazine, The New York Times, Brides, Yahoo News, and The Bee Collective. Her work also has a monthly segment on Fox5 Atlanta where she offers viewers event planning tips, in-home event hosting, and unique planning ideas. She has created and exceeded her own standard and looks forward to what the SharpStandard will accomplish in the future. Table View, welcome Brittany Sharp.
How you doing today, Brittany?
Happy to be here. Thank you. Thank you.
Are you having a good day so far?
I am. I'm having a really good day. The weather is phenomenal here, and I'm just excited that pollen is finally starting to leave and we can enjoy. I like being outside, so I'm having a good day.
Yeah. Well, that's good to hear.
How about y'all?
Good.
It's busy.
Working.
We got a little one and we're not getting too much sleep.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. So, of course, we know that you have a background in public relations and you attended Auburn University. But, now you are this huge event planner that is sought after throughout the entire South and probably even much more than that throughout the U.S. So what moment made you realize that event planning was your true calling rather than public relations and broadcasting?
Awesome. That's a great question. I was literally talking about you all earlier today because I had a client. They just got engaged and they've been in France and they got back in town. And he was like, my fiance, like before I even proposed, she was like, it's the SharpStandard. He was like, so if we don't even have a decision, it's you or whatever. He was like, but how did you get from like TV to this? And so I was sharing with him that I've always liked to decorate. My mom, we grew up, she did all the debutante balls in the community, the Delta balls, all of that. And we would just have to tag along if we wanted money to go to the bowling alley later on. But my sister hated it, but I loved it. I really enjoyed it. And so for me, it truly just became a hobby. I was over the prom for both years at my school. Then when I crossed Delta, was over all the things for Delta Week. And so I really kept thinking it was a hobby. And one of my dear friends from high school found out that her best friend was pregnant. And she was like, hey, I want to hire you to do Amber's baby shower. This is my first godchild. I'm super excited about it. And I was like, hire me? It's like, no, this is for fun. And she's like, no, this is your calling. I know you're in news and you're great at that. But this is what you're supposed to be doing. And she was my first client in 2012, literally talk about friends supporting your business.
Yeah.
She hired me and was like, I'm paying for you to do everything. I want you to have staff, all the things. And of course, we were on a much smaller level then, but still that's a big deal for somebody to believe in you that much that they want to. And that baby shower went viral. And so then people were booking me and I was like, oh, shoot. I don't know if I can manage this and working Monday through Friday. And so I eventually did. I wasn't obedient at first because that was 2012 and I didn't take it on full time to 2017. But it really was her just kind of pushing me into it. And after I finally listened, here we are.
Yeah.
No, I love that because I always talk about with some of my friends that have businesses, and I'm sure that there's some people that are like, man, we're friends. Can I get the
Yeah,
hook or can I get the
You
exactly.
need a support though.
but I'm always the opposite of, well, if I'm your friend, I want to see you win. So I'm
Exactly.
actually going to pay full price plus a tip
Exactly.
because it's a little bit more personal. So that's a
Right.
wonderful thing that your friend did that for you.
Yeah.
That was great. So transitioning from corporate life to entrepreneurship can be challenging. What were the biggest risks you took back in 2017?
Not having steady income. Because, when you're in corporate world, and Bobby was like, you're going to be fine. Like, it's okay. Like, I'm here. Like, and he also was one that really pushed me to do this full time, because he was just like, you literally do this in your sleep. And at that point, I was the director of PR for the city of Birmingham. And politics is one thing. PR and politics is a whole nother thing. I was sleeping with like 2 phones every night because we had 9 city councilors and the mayor. You don't know who's going to get arrested for a DUI, who gets caught cheating on their wife. And so you have to be at any moment's notice ready to get up, be on camera, write a press release or whatever. And it was just becoming really stressful. And he just kept saying, like, I know you enjoy this. I know your degree is in this, but do you think that this is your true calling? He's like, because nothing you do should be causing you this much stress.
Right.
And so I was nervous for a long time. Just, again, y'all are married, just putting all of that on one person. That's just not my spirit. I don't like that. I know, men are providers and all the things, but I was really nervous about that. So I remember when I first left the city council, I had great relationships with my bosses and also was really cool with the mayor from a personal level, because my father and him knew each other. So he was like, listen, you never take off. Like, literally, we have to make you go home. I had pneumonia. They're like, you have to go home. You cannot work up here with pneumonia. So he's like, we will basically pay you out. We'll keep paying you until August. And so that really helped. Then on top of that, right before I was like wavering between whether or not I was going to do it full time, I had like 3 clients booked. And so I was like, I feel like that was God saying, I got you. Like, I know because that's the difference between entrepreneurship and working at a company. It's coming every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship, it may be great one season and then you may not book anything for 7 months.
Yeah.
And so that's the other thing. You got to be financially savvy, which I think God is so good, because a lot of what I learned from the corporate world in terms of managing money, in terms of managing timelines, that really is what has helped me as I've had to navigate, learning how to be a business owner, because it's not like it's a handbook out here for it. So
I know a lot of people, sometimes they always see the finished product or the end result of, oh, look at Brittany, she doing it, she got this, she tried that, and and it's good for you to kind of take a look behind the curtain of like, yes, I worked hard to get to where you are today. You worked hard to get to where you are today. But there's a lot that goes on to get to that point.
Yeah, you have to understand it's not easy at the
beginning. At all.
Yeah.
At all. I mean, y'all planned a wedding. We do, about 30 to 35 weddings a year on top of the corporate event. So you're managing not just the bride and groom. You got their mom, their dad you got to talk to. A lot of times you got their best friend who also thinks she's a planner. You got to talk to them. Then you got to talk to the nephew who doesn't want to walk down the aisle. Like, it's so many. It's like, I don't just have just that one client for a project. One client is like 7 additional clients.
Different personalities.
And personalities, all the things. And so, again, that goes back to, I have to keep bringing God to this, and that God is so intentional, y'all, because the fact that I went from PR, where you're having to manage brands, is a lot of what I do in weddings. Although weddings is more logistics, it's design, it's still essentially creating a brand for that couple and managing it to stay on track, to make sure that no matter what mom or auntie or cousin wants, we still have what bride and groom, wanted from the beginning. And so it comes with these challenges. And I love that you pointed that out, Braxton, because so many people want to get into event planning now because it's like, oh, it's cool and it's fun. You get to wear the dresses. And it's like, this is a lot of work. Yeah. And as I'm getting older, the wear and tear on your body, standing up, we a lot of times load in at 8 o'clock. Don't leave out till 1 o'clock in the morning, and I have staff but I'm such a perfectionist that I want to be there to see at least the reception get started. That like the mental and physical toll of that, like I turned 40 in December. I don't know if I'm going to be able to sustain this to 55. And so it's hard. You know, like I said, you see the end result and that's wonderful and people are excited, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, no, that's I definitely get that. So with you being a perfectionist and also with us being in this social media era where the trends and what is interesting and what's popular is changing. I mean, it seems like it's monthly, maybe even weekly at this point. How do you manage that while also creating like these timeless and memorable experiences for your clients?
So awesome. Y'all need to like start a news show. These are phenomenal questions from the journalist and me. I'm like, wow, you know, and we get asked to do podcasts a lot, different segments a lot of times. I'm like, no, you know, but y'all are really like on it. So for me, I think the biggest thing is what you said, timeless.
Mm-hmm.
A wedding is something, y'all have a little boy now. You're going to want to show his kids and their kids. And if you get caught up in the trends, it's going to look crazy 20 years from now. And to me, I feel like that's also how your love should be. It should be timeless, not like, oh, let's do this because it's cute now. And then we're going to hate each other in 2 weeks, you know, but we'll do it for the gram today. And so I tell clients that a lot. Like when clients are reaching out to me, I'm like, I'm not the trendy wedding planner. Like I like creating timeless classic things. Now I design very heavily in color. People in Atlanta call me the color wedding planner. Okay. So, but I know how to do that. Even with y'all's wedding, you know, somebody just shared y'all's wedding 2 days ago from my page. I don't know why it stood out to them, but they like reposted it or whatever. Not why it stood out, but I'm saying like, I don't know why they were that far back on my feed, but, like you can do those bright colors, but still make it very classy, not chaotic. And because I have clients all the time that are like, I know you design really heavy in color, but I'm nervous about that. I don't want it. And I'm like, listen, even though I design in color, I'm gonna still give you something the classic that you will love 10 years down the line. And so to your point, Braxton, I really am upfront with people in the beginning. When we do our discovery calls, I will tell them like, hey, if you're looking for the planner that's going to be doing, I also don't like copying. So I'm not a copy and paste type person. I know social media has created copy and paste, you know, people, all we do is see it on TikTok. Like, okay, let's recreate it. It's like, no, be unique, do something different.
I agree.
So I let people know early on, like I'm not that, so that they don't go in thinking, well, I thought you were going to be doing this or doing that, but I want things that too are true to the couple. So if you're trying to copy a trend and that doesn't even match up to you, it's like then people get to your ceremony and they're like, this doesn't feel like the Hooks. This feels like the Smiths. This is weird. So again, that goes back to that PR thing of, you know, really creating a brand that's unique for the couple and that will withstand time. That's not just cool for 2026, but you can look at this in 2050 and say, oh, that is still a beautiful wedding.
Yeah, because I know for sure when we started off, I think I was mentioning like reds and blues, and you were like, you're at a tropical, you know, Cabo. You need a full color. And I was nervous at first about like the orange and yellows because I haven't seen people really do weddings with the colors like that. Yeah. And it turned out beautiful. People still talk about it.
Yeah. Because I was talking about y'all's earlier because they're thinking about a destination wedding, and I had shared, and they were like, oh my God, those colors. Even the groom, he's like, I would have never thought to do that. He's like, it's beautiful. I was like,
yeah, I agree. So can you walk us through one of your events that truly pushed your creative boundaries?
My sister. That's an easy question. And y'all, you know, you have sisters and you how close you are. My sister, we're like that, like how y'all, like literally. And from the beginning, you know, she was like, no brainer. Yes, of course you're doing my wedding. And I thought it was going to be so easy because my sister is not into this kind of stuff. She's like, you know, my sister owns a daycare. Mm-hmm. She does not care about this kind of stuff at all or whatever. She always like, I don't even know how to cut. You use scissors. Like, that's just not me. I was not the crafty girl. So I thought it was going to be so easy. But I think just naturally with females, when you become a bride, it's like, oh, I'm excited. Now I want to get on all these message boards and see this and that. So early on, we were clashing because I was like, how do you go from admitting that you have no design sense to now you want to suggest things that make no sense at all? And the other thing that was the most challenging wedding that I've done, period, because of the logistics. They got married in Vizcaya in Miami. It's a well-known venue. It's like one of the top wedding venues in the world to get married in because of how pretty it is. And so, but they actually hate having weddings there. I will tell you this. It's a historical place, and they don't make it easy for planners to have weddings there. So I'm in Atlanta. I'm trying to plan this wedding in Miami. I'm trying to manage her every time I do something, like with the cake, with your cousin Crystal. We had picked the cake out, and then she called Crystal and was like, no, I think we need to do this. I'm like, that doesn't match anything that we're doing. You know, Crystal called me, like, I was trying to tell her, but she wasn't listening. And so like my mom and dad had to literally have us sit down and like, listen, your sister is doing this for free. Okay. And you're the most annoying client that she has had. And she was like, you know what? You're right. And so she let me, after that was like kind of halfway mark. She let me start doing it on my own. And then I was really able to move away from like going back and forth on the design and tackle the logistics. Like you only have 2 hours to set up at this place. And for 213 guests, that's insane.
Yeah.
So we were able to, like, I don't take no for an answer. I ended up finding out who was on the board for the museum. And I wrote a letter. I had my attorney write a letter that just says that's crazy. Like, there's no way you can decorate a wedding of this magnitude. They also make you use a tent, whether it rains or not, for the reception.
Oh, really?
So you got to deal with the logistics of the tents and catering. Now you can't use anything inside the building other than restroom.
Everything outside already? Like the ceremony was outside? Okay.
Yeah, the ceremony was out in like the gardens area, which that's a whole nother issue because you got to shuffle 200 people way across like a football field to the other side of the building. They won't let you use golf carts. Like, it's all this stuff. Like, if you ever look up Vizcaya, they will tell you like it's the most annoying venue to decorate in, but it's the prettiest, so you have to just deal with it.
Because I know I saw the pictures. She looked really pretty. Everything looked beautiful.
You've done several events. You've built this brand and it's grown tremendously. So much to the point where it's been featured in major publications. It's been on TV. So I have two kind of follow-up questions to that. One, how has it impacted your business directly? But two, how has it impacted you personally?
Awesome. Oh, very good questions. The first part of the question, I would say, people think I say this, exposure is great across the board. Right. That's always good. Mm-hmm. But what I would tell you is that sometimes that exposure actually does not work in your favor, because with more people knowing about you, the more inquiries you get from people that really can't afford what they see. Yeah. So it's like you see Pinky Cole's wedding and it goes viral and it's beautiful. And it's like, I remember when Pinky posted me on her page, I got like literally, she posted me the night of the wedding just saying like, because she had another planner originally. And then she ended up letting her go because just, is stuff. Yeah. And so she had, by the time she got to me, they were like on the third people they had interviewed. And I didn't even meet Pinky until like the food tasting, because I was dealing with her manager and her assistant. And she was like, when I met you, I knew, because I was just like, I could just tell, like, you're like me, you don't play, you want things done right. And so she made this long post the night of the wedding. Because I was like, you need to be with your man. She was like, girl, we got 3 kids. We have done it all. We good. But she made this post and I woke up that next morning and I had almost 4,000 additional followers just from her making that one post. And so I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. But with that came so many inquiries from people that really thought like, and I'm not exaggerating, like you could do a wedding for like $1,000. And so there are, right. It's like, what are we getting for that? Yeah. And I'm talking about for like 300 people, like, yeah, I'm getting married at the end of the year, 350 people, like our budget is $3,000. And it's like, girl, nothing I can really help you with. Yeah. But so it's like, right. Literally. Everybody you're not even gonna go to a restaurant and spend that, for that many people. So, but so I remember, to your point, Braxton, really stepping back then and thinking, man, I was so excited about the additional exposure But then you also have to, it's not always that. It's not always that it's a good thing. And don't get me wrong, any exposure is good. But now that also comes with, like, we had to update our website with like what our minimums were, so that we weren't wasting our time on, you know, inquiries that weren't going to turn from that. In terms of what it has done for me is, I really feel like it has helped me to stay grounded, because I think a lot of times people, especially being in Atlanta, think, oh, you did one celebrity wedding, so I'm going to reach out to you and I'm going to offer to do, I want to see if you'll do it for free and I'll post you on my page. And if you haven't been exposed to that and you don't know what comes with it, the immediate thing to do is like, oh, I want to do this because I'm gonna get posted. It's like, that does not do anything for me financially. It doesn't bring me more business, because half the time, like I said, when you post, they're not going to be able to afford it. And then I've still got to pay staff to be there and work it. And so I've been able to really focus on not getting excited about the celebrity stuff. I will tell you, some of my best and biggest weddings have been from everyday people, Chick-fil-A executives, Delta Airline executives, that got just as much money, and they want me to sign an NDA. They don't want nothing posted, and I don't have to deal with no issues, you know. So, you know, it's pluses and benefits to that. But like I said, at being in Atlanta, I have tried to be very cautious in terms of not getting caught up in that whole celebrity, we were published type ordeal, because it's not always what it looks to be.
Yeah. And I can see that, because I agree with you. Like, growth is always good, getting the exposure, building your business. Absolutely, you want that. But everything comes with a cost, and there's always a trade-off to everything. But I think you made a good point. Knowing how to manage it and being able to stay grounded through that is what allows you to continue to grow and continue to get more exposure, while also keeping yourself and, you know, protecting who you are and what your brand is.
Yeah.
Where do you see the SharpStandard going in the next 5 years?
My ultimate dream, I want a venue. I really do. Having been a planner and designed all over, we actually have a wedding in Portugal coming up in a few months. I have seen it all, you know, and one of my biggest things is customer service is just not there. Like, venues do not plan and design around being accommodating. Like I said with Viscaya, you can't get in most of the venues. You don't have enough time to be able to decorate. So you got to now add an additional $2,000 or $3,000 just to get in there at noon for a wedding that starts at 5. That's crazy to me. When it's not requiring anything from you as the venue, other than maybe having somebody there. But I would even have it where I just opened up the door, had cameras in there, I could watch stuff, and then maybe bring somebody on site, you know, closer to the wedding time starting. But between that, you know, the venue's not staying up to date, no tables and chairs, like so many things. So like, it has really just been on my heart for probably about 3 years. Like, I really, by the time I'm 45, I want to have a venue.
Do you want it like indoors or just like for outdoor areas?
I would love indoor, outdoor. I really think I'm going to start off small. Like, so I've already got like what I would want it to look like in the grand scheme of things. But I want to start out small first, because I've never managed a property. I don't know anything about that. So maybe something small that's like 100 to maybe 150 people. So like birthday parties, smaller weddings, corporate events, stuff like that. And then the other thing is, speaking of corporate, I really want to move into more corporate stuff. So we're doing a lot more corporate now. But in 5 years, I really think I want to be like 50-50, like half corporate, half weddings, just because it's such easy money. They don't really care about what it looks like. They're like, hey, if we hired you, we trust you can make it. We don't need a vision board. All we need to make sure it starts on time. The food is good entertainment. Here's $50,000, you know, and it's like, what? That's correct. Like, that's amazing. You know, don't have to talk to nobody and all of that. So while I love weddings, because I do understand that my gift is my creativity and my design, so I don't want to lose that. I do know that, again, as I'm getting older and the stresses that come with weddings, I don't want to be doing that at 100%. Well, I should say, if that's not what God wants me to be doing. I aspire to have more corporate clients and do be like 50-50.
And one thing we know, Brittany, she stays on time. She'll be like, "Wait a minute, come on." I try to tell everybody, I'm like, you were just an amazing planner. Like she did
Okay.
me and all of my sisters. So I'm gonna insert pictures for sure of all of our weddings.
Oh, thank you. One of the questions the groom just had on the call I was telling you about. He's like, now my folks are late, but I want my wedding to start. And she was like, no, the bride has been to one of my weddings. So she was like, I've been to her wedding. One of her weddings, she will close the door on anybody. As long as that bride and groom are there and the officiant. I just think it's like, that's such a sacred thing. You're going before God to join in this covenant. And it's like, to me, that's like how you're starting your marriage. If you're starting off like disrespectful and you don't care, and people that love you will be there on time. If you're not, I just feel like that's selfish. And I'm not always the best with time, but stuff like that, weddings, funerals, like you at a reception for somebody getting an award for work, you need to be on time. You just need to be on time.
Yeah, I'm the same way. See, me, I always look at time is like connected to how you respect me or the ceremony. Like if you're obnoxiously late, I'll say.
Exactly.
Then it's kind of like, do you really respect me as much like that's always.
We had to literally start add security into my payroll about 2 years ago because we had this guy try to jump on me and I'm like 4'11". What am I gonna do? Because he was like, "That's my cousin wedding," and da 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 da, and like literally lunged against me. Who saved me? The groom. The groom was literally about to go down the aisle. I was at the end of the line going back there because I was like, why is somebody trying to come in? And he literally turned around and was like about to like let his cousin have it because he was like, at the end of the day, that's a woman, first of all.
Right.
Like you're not going to jump on a woman. And secondly, that's our wedding planner. That's so disrespectful. I wouldn't want anybody to do my mother or my bride like this. And like, no, cousin or not, you're not going to be disrespectful. So we ended up calling the police and everything. And his dad came out and got him or whatever. But after that, my dad was like, nope, security. Because you just don't know when you're dealing with, I don't know these people. So I'm like, random clients, you don't know what you're going to get.
Cousins, you don't know where the people.
That's true. I'm sure you got a lot of other stories that are probably.
Oh gosh, yes.
Especially with weddings, you have the open bar, the extended family, everyone.
Yeah.
In a good mood. Any like
I'm gonna tell y'all something.
I don't go to a lot of weddings. So.
It's funny you brought the open bar because I was talking to one of my old clients yesterday. She had called me just to get a laugh. She was driving home from work and she was like, "Do you remember how our best man, my husband's best man, literally went and got the mic from the DJ? I was in the back helping her turn and change into her second look." And it was Tevin Campbell, "Can we talk?" So I'm like, it doesn't sound like Kevin. He's like, "Can we talk?" I mean, all out. Y'all, I run out from the bridal suite up there. I'm looking around. The guests are like, I don't know what's going on. We've just been trying to eat, whatever. He is literally behind the stage, behind the drape on the stage, having a full-on concert while these people are eating.
Oh,
why did you think that would be okay to do that? You went and got the mic, and now I'm looking for the DJ,
right? Like
who
allowed him to
under the table, sitting under the DJ table. I'm like, what are you doing? He was like, I'm hiding. I'm like, you're hiding from what? You're here to perform services. He was like, man, I just need a break. I need a break. Like literally the craze. And it's funny. Like the bride and I were laughing about this yesterday. She was like, yeah. Still got my crazy in-laws, the same thing. She was like, here we are 3 years later and they still crazy.
At least that you guys can look back and laugh. I mean,
yes. I mean, I had to get security involved then because he wouldn't give me them. I said, sir, you cannot perform at somebody else's wedding. And you're also not a performer. So what are you doing? He was like, no. And I was like, no, what? He was like, you're not getting the mic back. Literally would not give it. I had to go get security guard, come up there and get the mic. So Braxton, I got stories for days.
I'm sure you do. Well, how can people get in touch with you? I'm sure people are going to want to reach out and try to schedule their next event with you. So how can they get in touch with you?
Our website is thesharpstandard.com, and all of our Instagram handle, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all of the things, the Sharp Standard, and would love to set the standard for anybody that's looking to really make a statement, whether it's wedding, baby shower, birthday party, anything that calls for a celebration. We want to come in and change how people perceive it and really make it a memorable event for both them as well as their guests.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Brittany. We really appreciate it.
Y'all are welcome. Have a good day and good weekend. Kiss the baby for me.
Yes, we will.
All right.
From 15 to forever, there's nobody that's better. You've been with me in the sun and the stormy weather. Want you to have my son.